pretty faces. Fair enough. In that case, as we go by, Amber is spending plenty of time looking at one of the windows, just staring at all the pretty reindeer as we go on by. Because, you know, there are no ugly things in rain, so pretty much every person that is out on the streets is pretty, or wearing, you know, some sort of, like, thin sheet to cover their face.
And does that include Dandy?
Dandy is gorgeous.
Yeah!
No, he's not gorgeous, he's fabulous. They're two different things.
This is very true. So the question...
I'm flamboyant.
That's true. What is your charisma?
16.
16? You probably have a nice face.
Yeah.
That said, the rest of you, as you go through, you notice that the town is unusually busy, and not in a good way. You're noticing a lot more ungulates are out in the streets, and you're seeing a lot of angry faces, a lot of random shouting here and there. And you get the feeling, you can almost sense a sort of energy in the air. Like there's this feeling, and it doesn't feel very friendly. It feels kind of hostile. And as you travel further, and as you travel along, it gets a little bit worse as the day goes on. And when you arrive at House Ba, you notice what appears to be a small crowd of individuals who are milling about nearby, and they're casting glances at the main entrance of House Ba from time to time. Unfortunately, this map doesn't go beyond. There's like nothing beyond where I revealed, which is a little annoying, but whatever. But for all intents and purposes, wow! Apparently, they have a pixelated reindeer as a premium asset. Okay. Good. No, that's a Perryton. That's something. That reindeer has its ribs exposed and is bleeding all over the place. There we go. They're actually a little bit further back. They're not like up against the wall, but you get the point.
They're not even Technicolor. Horrible.
Like I said, they're casting disdainful glances at the main entrance from time to time. And the carriage stops, and Washington shouts, "All right, House Ba!"
Corbin gets up of the second story.
Does anybody opt to not leave the carriage?
I drive the carriage through the wall. No, I don't. I get out. I get out.
Bagwong also leaves.
I'm gonna go ahead and presume the group is left. Washington then turns towards you. So where do you want to go, Corbin? You want me to hang around here again, or go somewhere else?
That's up to you.
Well, I mean, my job is to ferry you around, so where do you need me?
We shouldn't be too long, but if we are, feel free to on to other tasks.
All right. In that case, he then heads off, and we'll say he is off screen over. Can you guys see that? I'm
not looking.
Can you guys see through the veil of darkness?
No.
Yeah, the pings are on top of everything.
Okay, so you do see that. Okay.
We see the pins, but
well, there's literally nothing over.
dark. Okay. Well, there you go.
It's complete, as you can see.
The carriage
Nothing.
casts a long shadow.
Unfortunately, the map ends right there, which is a bit of a shame, but whatever. Anyways, Right, you were before the imposing gates. The question is, who's going to knock?
I know.
Marvelous. But,
Corvine just gets in.
Corvine says, "Screw it," and flies over the walls.
Oh wait, that's a wall? I thought it was a gate.
No, there's an actual gate there. It's just I guess they're down in this whatever have you.
So
Yeah,
was there anyone to talk to?
The enemy's gate is down.
I was looking here.
Child!
Yeah,
I
this
knocked the
is
door.
these are gates.
Well, yes, but is there anyone to talk to?
Well, the doors are closed at the moment.
Well,
And,
yeah. Are there guards or anyone who will open the door?
No, there are no guards out front.
I try to open the door.
It doesn't seem to budge. After several moments, the door does. After several moments after Andy has pounded on the door,
Can we lockpick it?
sure, if you want to try.
Amber, you want to try?
So ampersand.
Ampersand?
All right, go right ahead.
Ambersan. Do it. Who can do it, Ambersan?
Do you have thieves' tools? Do you have that in your inventory?
I figure you would start with those.
I mean, I'm assuming. I'm just double checking. Okay, and I assume since you're a rogue, you're probably proficient with me, which means you have advantage on this roll.
Wait, advantage.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's how it works. If you're proficient with a tool and you use that tool to do a skill check,
Well, you
have
get
advantage on the
proficiency
skill check.
bonus.
What?
You get proficiency bonus.
You,
I thought it was
you get
advantage.
proficiency bonus if you're proficient at the skill itself.
But you also get a proficiency bonus if you are proficient with tools.
I mean, if
Well-
OC wants to give us advantage, I'm not going to argue with
Yeah, no.
it.
Whatever, just roll.
Yeah, go advantage.
That is how it works. You get proficiency if you're proficient in the skill, and
So basically, you just get double proficiency.
no.
I assumed being proficient in the tool was equivalent to being proficient in a skill. Like, the tool is the skill.
Oh, I see. Maybe that's because I've read about it and I just couldn't wrap my head around how tools work. I was like, maybe that's what it is.
No, that's how instruments work.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and say. All right, fair enough. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say this sleight of hoop. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. You just add your proficiency.
Yes.
Yeah, Corvine went ahead and PM'd me. All right. We'll go ahead and subtract 6 from that, or 16 from that.
23.
But all right. Well, you picked the lock fairly easy. This thing was not prepared for your relentless assault.
This door was no match for me.
Oh,
So-
and
The master of unlocking.
So the question is, do you open it after you pick it? All right. Well, after a few moments, you hear the door lock and suddenly go chunk, and you suddenly hear some loud like expletives and words as you hear it unlock again, and then there we go. Ontario is now standing there behind the door. And you might as well, I swore I locked that thing. Whatever. Hey! You! What do you guys want?
we were called here.
Yeah, that's right. You're supposed to talk to Gear, aren't you?
Is that the one who wants the book?
Oh, Mistress Olivia is currently resting. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you'll be talking to Gear.
Understood.
Are you with us, Midnight?
Yes.
Oh, hello there.
I'm terribly sorry.
Well, we just got to the point where you'll be important, so there
Yeah,
you
pretty
go.
much actually. So far, what has happened is the
What was my
head of the-
excuse for not being there?
well, we don't really need an excuse. You're just quietly not there, basically. Now, basically,
Saya, you have a gourd now.
the head of the guild said you guys get no stuff because otherwise it's just going to sit on a shelf because we don't know any next of kin, and he seemed to like you guys, so you get it, and that way it gets used. And then there were some shenanigans involving a board merchant.
This is a very meaningful exchange.
And then the group has now reached the gates of House Ba, where Amber picked the lock into House Ba, and then when Ontario showed up to open the door after Danny knocked on it, he went to unlock it, but of course ended up locking it by accident, tried to open it, swore a little bit, unlocked it, and then opened it. He's like, I swore I unlocked that. Like, oh, you guys! And then stumbled and was all unhappy to see them. Oh,
Swearing in Fate of Foenum?
that said, I need a perception check from Saye.
Mm-hmm. So let me get the sheet out. And let me roll up for 20 again.
Okay.
Close enough.
So, however you got here, whether you piled into the wagon with somebody else or made your way over, I don't really care how you do it.
The carriage.
'Cause we're just gonna say that, of course, you've been there this entire time.
Yeah, you're in the carriage because it's fancy.
Yeah. You
I
have a
said
gourd
nothing
there.
to say.
Anyways, on the way over, you noticed essentially there's a lot of angry ungulates out in the streets. The city is very active, not in a good way. There's a lot of angry staring, the occasional shout of anger or frustration. And then when you guys arrived at the gates of House Ba, there's a group of. Are you gonna roll 20 by chance?
Yeah, I've actually been in it longer than I've been in the call.
Oh, fair. That's right. Yes, because you said things. You'll notice that there's a group of reindeer that have been sitting off to the side, sort of casting glances over the entrance, and the glances have been none too friendly. And they're actually a bit further back than that. They're actually probably way over here-ish. Probably more like where the end of the line is. But the map doesn't actually go any further than the tile, I should say, that I'm using. It doesn't go any further than what's there. So you gotta make do. Anyways, so Ontario looks at the group. So I guess you're here to talk to Gear, huh?
Yes.
Yes, Olivia suggested that we speak with him.
Fine. Any of you glances over at Amber. Try anything. So help me. And he looks around and is like, wait. One of you is missing. Where's the one with the wings?
She
Where'd he go? Did he run off or something?
gives him a look.
What?
And he looks down at the floor.
Sai appears from behind the cart. Ontario,
What?
that is a sensitive subject to them right now.
What? Did you decide to bugger off?
He's dead.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that. Come on, let's go.
She approaches Ontario and whispers to him, I need to speak to him privately.
Yeah. You can take care of it after these guys bugger off.
She just nods.
Alright, come on. No looking. Being distracted. No nothing. I'm
Oh,
watching you. He says, staring at Amber intensely.
also one more thing about Versailles is Corvine takes the second floor of her carriage exclusively.
Site has been restricted to ground level only.
Along with everyone else.
Alright.
Clearly, this is a time to exercise Dandy's
What?
stealth skill.
Mhm.
Give me like 5 seconds to figure out if this one work? Oh no, you guys can see that. You know what that'll do? You technically could, because I started putting it at a revealed area.
Like that.
Yes, like that. Let me look at something here. Danny, I need to borrow you for a
just
second.
because you said that.
Oh wait, no. Ontario, you'll do. Come here. First off, you're on the wrong layer. You need on the for the map layer with you.
Oh dear. Giant deer.
Ontario, where are you going?
Ontario, don't put that in your mouth.
Why are you offset? No, you bad map, you. Why are you
No.
offset? Actual grid. Shame on you.
If you hold Alt, you can adjust it however you want without it snapping.
I'm aware of this. It just irritates me.
Like, it is immaterial to your annoyance.
Well, the
I have
problem.
the high ground core. No, you don't.
Alright, that'll do.
You can't win, Corv.
I have the hot ground.
That will do. And then we're going
You can't win, Sai. We have the high ground.
My health to take it.
oh yes, and it probably should be. Oh, that's a horrifying premium asset. Anyways, it should go without saying that. Why do I type sheep into the search asset? Most of the assets come from bulls. The spider that's been ripped to shreds.
Spiders?
And that's a giant flame in the shape of a middle finger. Okay then.
What's the problem with that?
That's important.
That sounds like the DM needs to keep that.
The most premium of assets.
Apparently.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's a Rock's Fall scenario.
Okay, so this map is. The map doesn't even work. Who designed this map? Do you not understand what a grid system is? Shame on you. This is awful.
We
There
don't
it
need
is.
a grid for this unless you're gonna have this in column.
Well, when you guys snap, you need to snap to at least logical locations on the map. Alright,
Well,
there
what
we
if
go.
we don't snap?
Well, then you have
We
strong.
call on Snappy.
Then you have strong
Yeah, we call him
minds.
Snappy.
All right. Go ahead and reveal this nonsense. All right, he leads you to the backmost building, and through a very simple door. Like I said, House Ball is by design pretty straightforward. There's nothing much fancy here, and you're led into what appears to be a small hall, led up a couple of doors, and then eventually you're led to what appears to be a small dining room.
I have a gourd for this.
You guys enter over here.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, for some reason, whoever designed this decided that the grids there are like.
You don't
Like-
mind if I sit down, right?
Why would you design a chair? And no, that there isn't a giant pig in the center of that. So there's more appropriate food.
It's just a salad in the shape of a pig.
It's just
Yes,
soy.
there we go. As
Nah,
weird as
it's
that
his the last person he defeated. He wanted to lamb on the table.
Yeah, this is just his wife.
as you guys are led into it does indeed appear to be set for dinner. Sitting at the end of the table, you've seen him once before as a sheep who Danny will recognize to be in his equivalent of, I think, mid-20s. That.
Oh wait, should I even be here right now?
There you go. It's fine.
It would make sense for you to be here.
I'm not in the party right now.
What?
I am not in the party right now.
I mean, you more or less.
Well,
Did you follow Ontario?
I know you were planning on beelining to House Ba the moment the session started, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to say that you just left with the party and have been staying with the party. Now, if you want to split with the party before you get,
It might be easier to do it like this, anyways.
Always split the party.
So,
because it really boils down to: do you want to be here for the season? That's really what it is.
Anyway,
So if you don't want to,
Yes,
that's fine.
it might be for that.
anyway, I said to Gear as we were coming in, you don't mind if we sit down, correct?
I'm not done setting the stage yet. I'll be in a moment.
But
Anyways,
we're
when you
all
walk
sitting
in-
down already.
You're so
I think-
fat.
It's because you guys jumped the gun. You see, sitting at the head of the table, a sheep that's probably in about his mid-20s, human speaking. As far as sheep years is concerned, is probably
He's
about.
less than a year old.
Well, they reach full maturity about 8 months. Probably about a year, just over a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Tandy is old. Oh my god.
They age fast.
I forget the actual age. Unfortunately, I had a full document completely detailing every member of his family. But that's in Idaho, where I am not.
Anyway,
F my life.
so have you actually set the stage yet?
And it appears he's actually eating. It appears that you have walked in essentially sort of towards the solid beginning of the meal. Most of the food here is still relatively fresh. There's only small bits here and there missing. He appears to be enjoying a nice salad at the moment. And give me one hot second to close the door real quick. My parents started watching a movie.
So,
And I want to shut the
You
door.
didn't hear it in the first place.
One moment. All right. Sorry. Now, Corvine, you may. Sorry.
okay. Is it okay if we sit down?
Huh? What? Oh. They're here, Gear. You're here, your lordship. Oh, thank you, Ontario. Yeah, come on. Sit down. Sorry.
Do you mind sharing? I missed out on lunch today. I think we all
Oh.
have.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Sorry.
I'll pass.
All right, that's fine.
Baiguang bows in thanks and then has a bite.
What are you doing?
So,
No
Was he
table
doing-
manners whatsoever.
I
just-
heard my younger sister turned into a monster and tried to kill you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't a pleasant
But what
experience.
has she told you about that?
Well, it happened not too long ago. Only have a couple of hours, maybe.
Yesterday.
All right, you're right. It was yesterday. Sorry, I completely forgot that this is
Yeah,
the next
It's
day.
been a day. Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been about 24 hours, probably.
I'm a good DM.
I mean, for us, it's been a while.
For us, it's been
In
longer.
that case, well,
It's been months.
hers has happened yesterday. She hasn't had a lot. Well, she told me that she had that you gave her a book of some kind that you found in some ruins or something like that, and all of a sudden she was just hungry, like just really hungry,
Nom, nom, nom.
and just kind of wanted to tear you guys apart. He shrugs,
I put down my food.
and then
Saya just nods toward him.
apparently you guys kind of tore her apart. Well, whatever she turned into.
Oh,
Ontario here tells me that he
She's
came in
fine,
after
right?
it's over, but I didn't really hear much about what actually happened to her.
She grew. Well, more of something grew around her that had multiple heads.
Hmm.
It snapped at things that got near.
It snapped at things like what?
It tried to attack anything.
Okay. That was the DM clarifying. Huh. Alright. And what did these heads look like? Is there anything
It was hard to tell, but they were definitely not like hers. They were. I'd say they were roughly more like one over there.
glances of Bagwell?
Bhagwan glances at Corvine with a look that says, I wouldn't have put it quite like that.
Sorry,
So they,
just the closest example I know.
I confess they were dragon-ish in appearance.
Hmm.
Although, from my understanding, dragons don't typically have more than one head.
Alright.
I
You
think
guys-
they also grew sometimes.
Grew.
Multiplied, yes.
Really? Like it just kept creating. It just kept creating heads?
I'm sending the message right now.
Okay.
Yes.
And then OC doesn't respond to your text.
Oh no, it's gonna be a whisper.
Do you guys still have the book?
Hmm.
I was whispering about that right now.
I may have went to extremely.
I
lengths
just
after-
told them.
Oh,
Would you say that again, Say?
Well, the book, I found that if nothing was done, it would have decayed within. Let's see, I actually knew the day. It was around what, 8 days? Something around 8 days.
Something
7
like that.
days, some
Z-
hours, minutes, and a couple of seconds.
Let's say a week. Therefore, even if they returned the book, all we would be doing is endangering House Spa. Therefore, the conclusion we came to was it would be best to just,
destroy it.
yes.
Its
However,
contents were copied, but the original is no more.
not just
Dear,
copied, but translated.
Yes.
He looks down at his plate, kind of stops eating for a moment. The disappointment in his eyes is pretty blatant.
I
Did I
understand.
mention I translated it? You can read it now.
Why did you destroy the book?
The book was dangerous, and I wasn't going to let you guys take it again.
With all due respect, we are a noble house and we're perfectly capable of defending ourselves.
But can you keep a book alive that would destroy itself?
I understand how you feel, but I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Couldn't let.
Everyone underestimates us, that's just something we've gotten used to.
It's not that.
Underestimating you.
It's not that. We all saw what it did to Olivia, and we don't want anything like that to repeat it.
Well, I suppose I can't blame you too much on that. But if it was something so powerful, then why didn't you take it to Snowdawn? Like that's what they do. That's their specialty.
We didn't think about it at the time.
Real quick,
It's because
out of character, who has the translated text?
let's say Corvine has it.
Vesper has it. We gotta go back to his house.
Oh, oh no.
But anyways,
Whoops.
you're responding to a question.
It's not that I underestimated you. I
The
saw.
question
What
is
was
why didn't you take it to House Snowdawn? That's what they do. That's like
Because it didn't deserve to survive.
what do you mean?
I saw what was inside.
Well, okay. Show him the zip papers.
Oh yeah, you said you
So-
translated it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She
I said I would
gives
return
the
it.
papers
I may
over.
as well show you the translation.
Yes. Gives the translation over, which is probably more of a bundle of papers than a proper book at this point.
Looks down at it.
Sarek is going to just shuttle it over.
He looks at it and pushes his plate aside and starts flipping through it.
Oh, when
Did you finish-
inside?
He shoved his plate to the side a little bit to make room for the papers, and then he started going through them. And there's a few moments of silence. What? You said this was translated, right?
Yes.
What was it written in?
Bloodhound.
He stops. Looks up. What did you say?
Bloodhound. It is a language I
Who
studied.
translated this?
I did.
How do you know this language? You sound like you get the feeling you need to choose your next words very carefully.
Corvine leans in, wondering the answer to.
One must study the enemy to know them.
And who taught you?
This I cannot say. I'm sorry.
Corvine walks back and forth for a bit.
So why you said the book was decaying and only had like a week left? Was it
Yes.
was it an enchantment or something like that? Like, do you have any idea why it was vanishing?
I actually don't remember that part. Did we even figure out why?
Best way to describe it is, yeah, I think you guys figured that out. Well, I'll share
Okay,
with
so-
you guys, one with the other. Essentially, where it was sort of keeping it in contact. Once the seal had been broken, whatever was inside had gotten out. Suddenly, time was catching up to it really quick.
Ah, okay.
So that's
So
essentially
because
what's
the
happening.
Hydra got out of it, it was no longer keeping the book preserved.
The combination between that and where it was, its physical location. Let's see. How does one whisper? /W and then person.
/W/person's name space.
Flash person?
No, /W space person's names. And then space
And then
their
space in the
message.
content of the message.
For everyone else, you can just do /W space D space.
You're gonna go www.
rickandmortyadventures.com.
All right.
Dot 100 years Rick and Morty. Dot com. Dot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, certainly an interesting book. Grizzly. Is this a? What is this? He holds up the, because I assume you guys transcribed it at the end.
Transcribe the what?
The drawing at the end.
Yes,
Specifically.
You mean the map?
the entire book.
Well, not the entire book.
Wait,
Yeah,
Not the
when
pretty.
we I mean, we would have, but
well, I presume you guys skipped the pretty pictures.
We skipped the pretty pictures.
But we did copy the map, yes.
Yeah, we copied the map specifically.
oh yeah, we projected the map and copied the map. Took turns with the illusion and such.
He looks up at the group and sort of thinks hard. Appears he's attempting to make a decision or not. Or he appears he's attempting to make a decision. Olivia tells me that you recovered other artifacts, but you left them with her. Is that correct?
Maybe.
I think, well, No was carrying them in his bag of holding.
No, in that case. In that case.
Besides yours, Perk.
In that case, he just says, Olivia tells me you guys recovered other artifacts. Is that correct?
I believe so. It's been a very hard day.
We found a number of artifacts with the names of noble houses etched into each one.
This is something I was unaware.
He
What
glances
was my showing these?
glances over at Corvine. Yes, I heard about your companion. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. Speaking of which, you should also have this. She takes the journal out, pushes it.
What's
over
this? And he takes it and opens it up and stops for a second and looks up. Why do you have this?
I would ask the same question if I didn't know the answer. Before our late companion became late, they took this from your library.
I see. Miss Winterblood,
Yes.
of course, I am aware of who you are. has it ever occurred to you or to any of your companions that those books in that library belong to us? They are our personal possessions, and that taking them is not only
Yes.
breaking the law, but stealing from us.
It didn't occur to
I
our
know
friend,
that.
apparently.
Is it coming in, Dandy?
It didn't occur to our friend, apparently.
I know this. I'm sorry. I was planning to return this earlier, but things got in the way.
I see.
I have notified them of the possible consequences if they did not return it.
I was already planning that.
You are an interesting bunch. And I can't quite figure out if I can trust you a lot or not. On the one hand, you helped my sister, and it
We
sounds
put her
like
in
you didn't.
danger.
It sounds like you. I'm going to assume that you didn't leave the artifacts behind with her for the fact that she transformed into a terrible monster. Yet you steal books from our personal library, including very ancient tomes that are very personal. I'm actually not sure why this was in the library to begin with. You don't. Yet you don't trust us with dangerous artifacts. Although I will admit, I do appreciate your concern. There are a few who would show any concern towards us, our house specifically. So I'm not quite sure what to make of you all, but
With due respect, I don't believe we would trust anybody with that particular artifact.
I didn't want that artifact to survive.
Much less ourselves.
with all due respect, Miss Winterblood, that was not your call to make.
And what makes it not?
Why was it yours?
An artifact of that, particularly of that caliber, that's something the noble houses would have to decide on.
She is a noble.
She is a minor noble. She is not one of the royal families.
And he gives him a letter.
And what makes House of Ba one of the greater nobles?
Oh, this question, is it? Very well.
I appreciate your work, but don't belittle me.
What work do you think we do, Miss Winterblood?
The preservation of knowledge.
We also mint the currency of rain. But you're right. Simply being record keepers and printing money isn't exactly enough to make one a ruling body in a place such as Rain, particularly a place that's run by reindeer. I mean, no disrespect. I'm sorry. It's just we get that question a lot.
And we mean no disrespect, but what we decided was what we decided, and there's
I can't fault you for your decision. The proper path would have been to bring it to our attention first, but given what has happened, I can't blame you too much. While I wish the original book had been preserved for our own purpose and records, I'm not upset about that. First off, Miss Winterblood, if you must. Ruling and running Rain is not a small task. It is not easy to do.
I'm not.
Reindeer or no, this takes much time and effort. The only reason I'm even meeting with you is because you saved my sister. And don't take that the wrong way. It's not that I view you as lesser than me. It's just I have a very busy schedule. I have a lot I need to do. Second off, unlike our Sorry.
You all right?
Well, perhaps you can understand, Dandy. You're a professional gladiator, right?
I am indeed.
Spend your time doing what you do in the arena. By the way, you're something of a house favorite.
Oh, thank you.
For well, you can probably guess why.
Oh.
Imagine that every time you stepped in the arena, there are people who said, "Why are you here, sheep? You don't stand amongst the others. You're not good enough. You're not the same caliber. You don't deserve to be a fighter. You cheated. You don't win. You don't deserve position." How would that feel every time you stepped into the arena?
Well, it kind of was what happened at first.
And how did it feel?
Horrible.
Now, how would you feel if it still happened?
I probably wouldn't still be out there in the arena.
Unfortunately, we at House Ball don't have that option. We have to keep doing our jobs.
I don't.
And to answer your question, Miss Winterblood, it's because our great-grandfather was one of the founding members of this city.
Yes, I know this.
Yes, you know this now.
I was not getting angry at the fact that you are sheep nobles. I'm getting angry at the fact that you acted like your position as a greater noble undermines all other nobles. The lesser nobles don't deserve to be treated like they're not worth anything.
I'll admit, my intention was never to belittle you, Miss Winter. The Winterblood family is a fine, noble family, worthy of respect. It's just... It's just that there's a lot of noble families who feel that just because they're reindeer, they have more jurisdiction over how the city runs than we do. And they constantly attempt to undermine our attempts to do our job. Because while we're not actively out in the city, at least as much as the other families, a lot of what we do is behind the scenes. We help keep the gears moving, as it were. There's a lot of terrain that the citizens and denizens don't know about.
Maybe they ought to.
Come again?
Maybe they ought to.
It wouldn't make much difference.
Breeds.
Yeah, why don't you go
Kind of
outside and
people.
Why?
make more public showings?
Because we've tried.
Well, then
Miss
Try
Winterblood's
again.
here. Miss Winterblood's here. Even though she didn't exhibit the behavior, her question is the root of it all. There's more than one commoner who is willing to throw a bit of refuse. Just because we're sheep.
Perhaps you write them off too soon.
With all due respect, Miss Winterblood, once you've lived a life of persecution and constant questioning of your right, of your responsibility to fulfill duties you may or may not want to do, once you've lived that life, then maybe we can have a more intense discussion about it.
She looks like she wants to say something but can't.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to come in here and shout at you. I'm sorry. It's just your question. It really hit home. So I apologize. I should not have treated any of you that way. Please don't think ill of me or my house or my behavior today. We have a hard enough time already as it is to not be laughed at.
Sorry, but I won't blame an entire house for the actions of an individual.
Yeah, if one of few, then.
Yes, one of few, particularly in this room.
Look. The door to the room bursts open. You see a young reindeer run into the room and run up to Gear and whisper into his ear. And Gear's eyes sort of bolt open and look up at him. Are you sure about that? The messenger nods.
I'm assuming that's not good enough to hear.
He does not. Although anybody else can make perception checks if you
Oh
wish.
yes. Oh yes. How much do I not hear?
Anybody else want to make a perception check while we're here?
Yeah.
I hear the insects outside.
Oh, I mean, what's the odds of fumbling twice in a row? I mean, it's either 0% or 100%, because either it happens or it doesn't happen. But technically speaking, the odds are 5% because each one is. That's not the point.
Well, the odds of rolling one twice in a row is 1 out of 400. So,
Okay.
of course, that's a gambler's fallacy. But
I guess if you want, if you want to argue that step, I say it wasn't a fumble. There's enough to notice that they're whispering something, so that's good. All right.